Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. How are you all doing today? Let me make sure all my sound's off here, my other devices. Yes, so it's Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. I hope you're having a good day. I am a little worn out. Um, as many of you know, today started actually late last night. Started a little bit wild for us. Marianne says, "Hey, William, I am tired." Me too. Me too, Marianne. Norma. Hello, Norma. Thank you all for being here. Um, so we had some issues with Gertie, as many of you have seen. Gertie was not feeling good starting late last night. We noticed that she was spotting in places. She was trying to pee but could not, or was not, or not a lot. And we know this story all too well from Paolo and Babette. And of course, that had me very nervous, as that's what we ultimately lost them to, um, were kidney issues. And so um, Gertie started doing that late last night, and we were keeping an eye on her. The vets were closed, so we couldn't do anything at that point unless we went to an emergency vet. And for girl cats, generally this is not a super emergency. If it's a boy cat, it's a little bit of a different story. Sometimes hours, or an hour or two is too long to wait. Um, so with girl cats, though, you have some time. So we figured we'd see how she was doing in the morning. As I was getting ready to go to bed, we have little pee pads down because sometimes she still likes to go outside of the toilet I think that's from her youth when she used to get chased around a lot. She doesn't always feel safe going in the litter box. Um, so sometimes she goes outside of it. And she hasn't been doing that much at all. She's been very good lately going inside the litter boxes. And so when we saw her trying to go outside, it threw up, kind of red flags. So I was getting ready for bed and I was checking the pee pads, and there was one with a little bit of red, a little bit of pink in it. So we knew she probably had an infection at least, but we didn't know if there was anything worse. She was still eating and drinking and, to some degree playing. She was a little bit standoffish last night. Normally she sits with me on the couch and really kind of lays with me at night, but she didn't want to lay too long with me. She was kind of sitting off on her own. And that kind of struck me as something that wasn't quite right. Um, so she wasn't feeling great, and she kept cleaning herself. And so we knew something was up. So this morning it was no better. She was still getting around, and we went outside and we did a little bit of playtime on the stairs, and she played really hard. So she was not feeling bad, thankfully. Her ears were a little bit hot from time to time. It would come and go, to see if she had a fever or not, and it was coming and going. Sometimes her ears would be really hot, and then you'd feel them again, and they were just normal temperature. So um, we uh, we decided to call the vet because if we started reading, with girl cats, if there are no major symptoms, sometimes they can fight it, especially young ones, they can fight it off on their own. Um, at least that's what we read. But if you start seeing any symptoms, and especially since we saw pink, um, they're like, you should probably call the vet, or you should definitely call the vet. So we called, and they were thankfully, our vet is amazing. They were able to get us in within a half hour of when we called. So we, uh, we, I got myself ready. We packed her up and took her into the vet, and um, they went through they didn't do any kind of x-rays or anything like that because they were just feeling her, and they said her bladder was not enlarged. There were not any, there was no swelling in there. She was not reacting poorly to them touching it, so there wasn't any pain that they could tell, and she wasn't. She was just her normal self generally, except a little scared because strangers are touching her. But she uh, she dealt really well with it, and so they gave her an antibiotic. And I didn't even know they had these, but it's a one shot of antibiotic and under the subdermal, and it lasts 2 weeks. So we don't have to give her liquid or pills. Um, which we are pretty used to giving, like we got very used to giving pills and liquid medicine to Paolo and Barnaby, because when Barnaby was first, we thought he might have cancer at first, and we were giving him all kinds of vitamins and natural things that are good for cats to boost their immune system and things like that. So we got very used to being able to give it to them, so it's not a huge problem for us, but it would be more stressful for her. And if you don't know this, stress in cats can cause bladder issues. It's a direct relation. So, stress in a cat can lead directly to bladder issues. Um, it happens a lot more, I think, in boys, but it can happen to girl cats too. So if your cat is stressed, it can go directly to their bladder and they'll develop bladder issues. Hey, Susie, thanks for joining. Um, Andrew says, I'm glad we don't have to stress her out by giving her medicine. Yeah, that, we wouldn't be, I mean, we might be a little stressed out because every cat is different. Barnaby learned to, was it Barnaby? Kind of learned to spit up his medicine. He could spit it back at you. So strange. Um, I can't think of it. Was that Barnaby, Andrew, that did the spitting? Um, but one of them, yeah, learned how to spit back at us. Um, Might have been Babette. But every cat's different and taking medicine is different. And we didn't want to, stress her out even more. So I'm so glad they did the shot and they were able to do that. And it was real quick. And we were in and out of the vet. I think it took us longer to sit in the waiting room. Um, I was a few minutes late, and I think that may have thrown them off because they really got us in. It was like 20 to 30 minutes from our phone call. So I like hurried up and got myself ready because I was still in pajamas and, hadn't really got up. We were just moseying around with her and kind of monitoring her. And, um, so yeah, I sat longer, I think, in the waiting room. We were there longer than we were in the room. And so we're hoping that this is good. She is full of energy tonight. She's eating, she's fine. I haven't seen her go to the bathroom yet, so that's what I need to kind of monitor. But last night, I did not sleep well. I had her in the bed with me so that she could get some quiet and try to, recharge and really rest well. So Barnaby and she laid in the bed with me, and um, you know, it's hard when I've got two cats in the bed because they always 100% all the time want to sit on different sides of me. So I get pinned down and then I can't move. And then if I'm, normally if I'm feeling like it's starting to hurt by laying in one position for too long, I'll move myself around. But because I was trying to let her rest, I was trying not to move too much. So I barely slept last night. But as long as I knew she was with me in the room and resting, I felt like I could try to rest. Um, and then Andrew came in at one point and grabbed her and slept with her for a while. And that allowed me to really kind of have some more room and really kind of rest for, I don't know how long, it wasn't very long, but I actually fell asleep for a little bit. And then we were up very early again, just kind of monitoring her. And, when it was time for the vet to open, we were like, okay, should we call? What should we do with this? We knew we were heading into a weekend, and the vet is open part of the weekend, but very limited hours. and we didn't want to have to do any kind of emergency run in case something did happen or was something worse. So we took her in today, and I was late to the store, but I got there um, around noon, and I was at the store for the rest of the day. We had one person come in. I forgot one person came in very first thing, as soon as I opened the door, pretty much, um, asking if we could do a repair for them. So we're doing a little repair on some earrings, and then the store was not busy the rest of the day, but it was so windy. I had to take our flag down, our open flag. So it probably in some ways looked like we were closed. If people were looking for the flag, it was not out for most of the day because it was so windy. I was worried about it ripping the flag off of the building. Um, and the flag is like right in the front. So if it were to happen to, go twist too far off the building, or if it would fall, it could smash the big windows. And we don't want to do that. So I took it down, and it was just so windy today. But it was beautiful. It was, I think, 60 degrees, somewhere in there. Um, so I went outside for a little bit and walked around a little bit. But uh, yeah, most of the day I was in doing inside work. And then I sent out an email talking about the price of things, metals going up, like we were talking about yesterday, and talking about the AG Fine Pewter line. And then I found out that Shopify was down. So I sent out an email to try and get people to buy stuff. A bunch of people went into the store because I can see how many people are in the store, and um, the nobody could check out because there have been issues with shipping. Apparently, shipping rates being calculated and checkout in Shopify all day long. Some people ordered this morning and it went through, but at some point in the afternoon that all stopped, and I didn't know that until after. So I put up a notice on the website and I put up a notice on Facebook. And so if you were trying to check out today, I apologize. All of Shopify is down at this point, apparently. I don't know if it still is since I started the live, but it was up until I got home tonight. So he says, so happy the baby feels better. Thank you. Mischief gets those 2 week shots for her eye infections because she isn't good with pills. That's good. Yeah, I didn't realize they could do the shot came in this tiny, it was only about this long, and it was like tiny, tiny little tube. I was like, I don't know how that can last for 2 weeks, but it does. And because they're not swallowing it, they said it doesn't affect their stomach or it doesn't give them diarrhea, anything like that. So she's just kind of her normal self right now, and we're hoping that it clears everything up. Andrew says, I can't remember, done blocked it out about the spitting. I can't remember who used to spit back at us. I think it was Barnaby. Pretty sure Barnaby learned how to spit back at us. Because if you don't get it just right in his little mouth, um, he'll spit it back out. Angela's here. Um, says, hello, first beach trip 2026. Didn't get a sunburn. That's nice. That's awesome. Don't get burnt. Um, Andrew says some of the people in town lost their power and internet. Yeah, both towns. So apparently, some people in Ligonier lost power and internet, and some people in Johnstown were losing their power due to, I think, the wind, the heavy, heavy wind. And our friend Susie warned me, which I wasn't even thinking about, because I was like, it's a beautiful day. I'm gonna have a nice drive home, and she reminded me to watch for trees down because it was so windy. Thankfully, there weren't many. There was one that was kind of like peeking out from the side of the road. And if I would have been too close to the white line, it could have gotten me. But thankfully, I saw it and went around. But other than that, it was pretty good. It was a beautiful, um, beautiful sunset tonight. Like just the shades of the color. I had my phone in a stand in the car, and I took a picture. I don't know if it's going to let me show you the picture. Let me see. Where can I do that? Let's see if it'll let me show you the picture. Let's see here. Oh, it might actually be working. This hasn't worked in a while. Look at that. That was my sunset on the way home. It's like all those beautiful orangey red, like talk about fire horse there, right? Beautiful colors and that beautiful blue sky, like so many layers of the blue coming up through there, like from dark blue to light, 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 and then into the oranges and then into the reds and the silhouettes of the trees. I just thought it was such a pretty, pretty image all the way home. So that was nice. That was nice. Nice sunset, says Marianne. Thanks. It was. May's here. Hello, May. Thanks for joining us. Is waiting in line for a prescription. I need to pick up my prescriptions um, at some point. They said Valentine's candy's on sale. Yeah, I haven't actually seen any Valentine candy on sale. I went to Walmart the other day and they had already reset, um, or they were beginning to, I think I think it was Easter. I feel like it wasn't even Easter. Maybe St. Patrick's Day. I think it was St. Patrick's Day. They started having green stuff out in their kind of holiday aisles. Andrew left the house today. He said, I left the house today. I was proud of him. He left the house today. Um, and he was out with the cats a little bit, did some yard work. Um, and trimmed the blueberry bush. It needed to be trimmed. It's always good to trim it. I don't know if now is the exact right time, but it is good to trim it before it blooms because it produces much better when it's trimmed out um, than when it's super full. And we haven't trimmed it, I think, the last 2 years. Um, and so the first year when after Andrew trimmed it, it went wild with berries. The second year, um, we had fewer berries, and maybe even 3 years, and it just has been decreasing, and the berry size keeps getting smaller. So we seem to find, and I don't know if that's a thing or not, but we seem to find when he trims it, and it's usually him that does it. When he trims it, we have a very good berry batch. So we're hopeful for that this year. Kimberly's here. Says, hi, everyone. I'm helping a friend test an app, so I can't hear at the moment, but wanted to say hi. Well, hello, Kimberly. Um, Marianne says, congratulations, Andrew. Um, Andrew says, I didn't get as much done as I would have liked. He got stuff done. You didn't sleep either. He didn't sleep all night, mostly until early, early this morning. And then pretty much as soon as he lay down, Gertie was ready to get up. So he let her in and out of the bedroom a few times and was keeping an eye out. And um, sorry, I have my drink here. So what do I do with it? There it is. Um, and then kind of right after that we just got up, so we're both kind of exhausted, and we're gonna kind of make, I mean, we can only make this so quick tonight, but I'm not gonna talk for as long as I normally do because I'm worn out. And we have Andrew made some kind of like garlic bread pizza things for dinner, so we're gonna have some spaghetti sauce to dip that in, um, and kind of have that uh, kind of garlic bread for dinner. And we have salads too. So we're going to make it super easy for us tonight. Um, Andrew says we also had a drought one year. That's true too. It didn't produce because we had pretty much a drought. And the berries got very, very tiny. One year we had the drought, the berries were very tiny. Another year they got frozen out and they didn't do so well. But we're pretty lucky. Even when they get frozen out, we generally tend to have a pretty good batch, which I'm kind of surprised about. But that bush, we have a very good blueberry bush, and they're sour blueberries, which I prefer. They're a little bit tart. I don't like the sweet blueberries. Andrew says, I might make the bread into cheese sandwiches. That could be good too if you want to do more. I just figure you don't have to do more if you don't want to. We're both worn out today. Um, so if you want to do that, you can do that. Andrew says, I'm trying to propagate them. Yeah, he took the cuttings and he put them in some water. Gonna see if they, I don't know, do they do that? I'm sure you looked it up. If they will grow grow any root systems or not. And so we can maybe take some up to the cottage and propagate them up there. That would be nice to have a little blueberry patch up there. Um, I know they must do fairly okay in clay, um, because we had a blueberry bush at our house growing up, and it always did pretty well. And we had all clay. It was all clay because we have a lot of clay up at the cottage. Um, and the blueberry bush we had growing up, it did really well until it just got too old. Um, and then we built a garage right beside it, and it didn't like that either. So that was kind of a thing. But um, Andrew says I put some in the ground with root hormone. Oh, nice. Oh, so you put them in the ground here. Um, Andrew says I don't think I want to put them at the cottage. Oh, okay. I was thinking it'd be nice at the cottage, but um, yeah, that's okay too. Um, and then what else? That was kind of the day. The day has been a blur because I've been so tired. It's always like these things happen on a Friday, right? And not that any other day is any better necessarily for us because we're busy every single day. There's no weekend for us really. I sometimes we get Saturday nights. Sometimes I don't do the live. I don't do a D stash. Saturday night's kind of like my night to veg out, and that's always nice. Because going into Sunday is also not a banking day, so I get to kind of zone out from Saturday night after the store closes until like I wake up, I go to the store, but at least I know I don't have to like check the bank and look, make sure things are going through or not going through, and all that. So, um, but then that's the weekend, and you can't do vet stuff generally on the weekend. Um, so that's been our day. How's your day out there? Has anybody else had any exciting? Hopefully not too exciting, not bad exciting. Um, have any of y'all made any mixed metal things that you have shown in the design challenges group? I don't think I saw anything pop up for mixed metals there today, for the AG Bead Fam challenge. Um, so did anybody do that? Anybody working on that? I did send out an email about mixed metals and things today and sent out a little thing on Facebook. And then, of course, like I said, the online store was down, so nobody could check out. But hey, you know, hopefully people will build a cart and they'll want to, because you can save things in your cart, especially if you make an account. I don't know if you know this, but you can make an account in our online store. You can just check out regularly, but if you make an account, then you can track your orders and all that kind of thing too, in the online store. So you can do that if you'd like to, and it will also save your cart for you if you do that. Um, I don't know how long it saves it for. I can't say that it saves it for a particularly long time, but it will save your cart. So that's kind of a thing some people do as they're working through projects. They kind of build a cart and till they're ready to check out. And so hopefully people built some carts, and when the store is up and able to be checked out of, people will hopefully grab some stuff because, as Andrew said, somebody put a little bit of money in our vet account because we had a credit, which there's no reason why we should have had a credit on our account for our vet. Um, Before that I can think of. So I think somebody put a little bit of money in there, so we're appreciative of that. It covered part of today, which was nice. And but yeah, it's yeah, it was a surprise, and it was not something that we had planned for, right? It never happens. As Andrew said, I feel like cats always have issues when it's the most inconvenient. Yeah, it's like you don't have like we didn't have like 2 or 3 days to kind of monitor and see how it's going and decide, or it's always something like got to do it now, and it's like Friday. If we don't do it now, we're not going to get to do it. Um, and then it could be we're talking emergency vet time possibly, and that's beyond um, capabilities right now in the slow season, especially. I mean, we do everything we could, but it'd be very, very hard at that point. Andrew says, I like it, but the deer eat everything. They do. It's true. They would, and do deer eat blueberry bushes? I don't know. I've never, my grandmother always had blueberry bushes, and the deer never bothered them. She had blueberry and raspberry, and the deer never bothered them. So I don't know if they eat them or not. Hey, Susan, thanks for joining us. Marion says, a nice surprise about the credit, though. Yeah, it was very nice. Um, it was very, very nice. The credit was there, and like I said, it took a little part off of the bill, and we're super thankful for that. As I was saying yesterday, abundance comes in all forms, and while this was still a monetary abundance, it was also a gift. Um, from someone, from the universe. It was a gift, and we were both very thankful for it. Um, Susan says, glad to hear Gertie is better. She is up and up. Um, and so, yeah, hopefully she continues to do better. Diane says, plant daffodils around them, toxic to deer. We have tons of daffodils at the cottage. Just wouldn't have any right around where we'd probably do blueberry bushes, but we could. Um, but we've tried a lot of different things, and as Andrew just said, the deer at the cottage are assholes. They kind of are. Um, Marion says very likely a good deer snack. Yeah, they will eat everything, even the things that they say deer don't eat that are too sharp-leaved or pointy, or they end up eating them there. Um, I don't know why. I know it's cold. I can't blame them for it. But not they shouldn't be doing it in the summer. They keep eating our little pear tree. That pear tree has tried to survive for years, and it has. One of the three have survived. They eat through the netting we try to put. We got to do something stronger or something this year to try and really let that tree grow. Um, and so I don't know what we're gonna do, but we got to figure something out. Andrew says we planted over 1,000 daffodils. They just chew stuff to the ground. I know they're supposed to be toxic, but um, they seem to be disappearing. I don't know what. Maybe it's not deer. Maybe it's something entirely something else. I don't know, but something's eating everything. Um, anyway, that's our life. Andrew says that was sad about the pear trees. Sheila got those for us for a wedding. I know. That's what I'm trying. I'm trying so hard to keep the one alive, because it is a gift from Andrew's sister Sheila for our wedding. Two of them didn't survive, but we've got one clinging on to life, and it was doing so well. I had so high hopes because the deer weren't bothering it. We kind of made something that worked. It seemed like it was working. And then I came in one time, and every little leaf that had come up was torn off and eaten away. Um, and it was finally just getting like so little fluffy with its little leaves. It was sad. Um, so I'm going to try something stronger this year and see if we can keep the deer away. Like somehow wrap around something. I don't know. Some kind of netting and fencing and something. About ready to put up a little like a picket fence completely all around a white fence all around it so it can get sun from the top, but the deer can't get in. Yeah. Andrew says, it's deer. I see them. So I like deer conceptually, but they are butt heads. Part of me wants to get a slingshot and pop them in the hindquarters. Diane says, try fertilizing with millergonite. It helps my brother keep deer away. I've never heard of that. So we'll have to look that up. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is, but we have to check that out. Um, Yeah, things grow up there pretty well. Like, we don't have to fertilize much of anything, which is kind of amazing. Things just grow, but the deer eat them and stop them from growing. So, but that's all I've got for today. I'm going to show you some stuff tonight. We got some nice stuff from Harry. We've been talking about Harry sent a package, and we haven't shown it to you yet. So we're going to show you some of the things. It was a bigger package than I thought. So we're going to show you probably about half the listings tonight are going to be from Harry. Um, and then we're going to go on. So I'm going to start with those tonight. And then we're going to move on to uh, some beads and things that I picked out. Um, from our stash here because I didn't stop at the cottage on the way home. I was worn out. Didn't want to stop. Didn't want to do anything. I was actually getting very sleepy, and I was like, I'm just going to go home. I didn't want to be out any later driving. So, um, yeah, I pulled some stuff from here. I think I pulled some good stuff, and hopefully you'll like it. I'm going to show it to you starting now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move my camera out of the way. Oh, yeah, someone sent Andrew a book. Someone sent Andrew a book. He got a nice book. Diane says, yes, look it up. Millergonite is a popular eco-friendly slow-release nitrogen fertilizer made from heat-dried microbes that have digested organic matter in Milwaukee's wastewater. It is safe for lawns, gardens, shrubs, providing nutrients up to 10 weeks without burning, even in hot, dry conditions. Wow. That sounds really good. Andrew says, a very fancy book. He did. He got a very fancy book. Someone likes him. Um, so thank you out there if you're watching. If you're watching and you sent Andrew a fancy book. All right, there's that. Oh. And then I did something to my wrist. I have, when you like push down with your hands to push yourself up or, move yourself around in a chair. I can't do that right now because I hurt my wrist. And every time I put pressure in that very particular way to like push myself or push myself up out of the chair, it sends a shocking pain down my wrist. So I don't know what did that or when or how, because I don't remember doing anything that would cause that. But every once in a while that happens to me at that very particular spot. So yeah, that's something today. That's something today. All right, where are we? What are we doing? Let's see. We had cat lots yesterday. I know I've never done dog lots, so we're gonna do dog. That's gonna be our lot letter tonight. Dog. Dog 1. Anderson, I'm trying to figure it out. Who got the book? Dog 1. Even though this is not a dog. How about this? Dog 1, $18, is actually a cat. It's a cat figurine by Harry. This is super cute. Dog 1 is a cat. Andrew says, and no dogs, right? I know. I know. Hey, Anna. Thanks for joining us. This is a little cat figurine by Harry Wood. Ceramic. Super cute. DOG 1. So glad Gertie is on the way to feeling better. Thank you, Anna. We appreciate that. DOG 2. Dog 2 is another cat. I really like this one. I love the glaze work on this. Hey, Susan. Glad to see you here. Thanks for joining us. DOG 2 is this cat. I know, I'm doing dog lots, but they're all cats. DOG 3. $18. DOG 3 are these. Is this cat? Diane says dog 2 is really pretty. It is, isn't it? Cute little figurines, all by our friend Harry. Harry sometimes hangs out with us online. We haven't seen as much of him. Usually he's on Wednesday afternoons if we do see him. I think the evenings might get late. He's usually eating around this time, I think. All right. And DOG4, I'm going to do this at $16. This one is this cute little cat figurine. Oh, got a fuzzy on there. This kind of looks like a Gertie. Little Gertie. Oh, we sold DOG2. Thank you so much. And it's a little, look like a little Gertie. A little bit. Got those orange marks. Andrew says, Gertie rode on my shoulders today, which she hasn't done in the past few days. Yeah, she's feeling better. I think she's feeling better. She doesn't wanted to be held lately. She hasn't wanted to, like the last day or so. We kind of felt like something was up, but we didn't see symptoms of it until last night. But yeah, she hasn't been wanting to be held as much, or even like by me or run on my shoulders. DOG5 is this cat. Look how cute. Super cute little figurine. DOG5. Ceramic by Harry Wood. All right. I'm going to put 2 away. Do I have a bag? I didn't have a bag. Forgot my bags. They're all at the cottage. I have this whole giant box of bags that I reuse, and I keep forgetting to bring any of them home. I gotta remember to do that. I gotta set myself a reminder of some sort. Oops. Sticking to some of the ceramic, sticking to the cloth here. Garfield's design. I know, right? It does remind me of Garfield too. Super cute cat. That's DOG5. All right. DOG6. These are going to be $3 each. And I'm going to show you. These are beads by Harry. Ceramic beads. $3 each. So there are kind of 2 in this style, in this glaze. So I'm going to say that that's DOG A and B, right? If you want to claim A or B. And then, no, let's do it this way. DOG A. A, there are 2 of them. I think that's how we're going to do it. So A, there are 2. And then B are these ones. And there are 2 available. It's going to help me a little bit. B, there are 2 of them available. And then these ones. And that's C. There are 2 of them available. And then this one we're going to say is D. And it is different from all the others. And there's just that one of D. All right. And like I said, not all of these are exactly the same. Glaze does different things, but this is kind of, you can see it's kind of the same color. Of course, the patterning that it makes on them is all going to be different, but they are generally, you know how ceramics work enough, right? So there's that. Susan says, glad to hear Gertie is getting back to normal. So hard to know when they're having litter box issues, especially when you have multiple cats. Mookie is getting sick of me following him to the litter box. Yeah, it really is not easy, right? It's not easy at all. I mean, thankfully, not thankfully, Gertie uses the pee pads a lot of times. We're used to, at least, so we still have pee pads out, and that's what she was trying to do. So we could see, like I would see her going on the pee pad, and then when I go to pick up the pee pad to pick it up and replace it, there was only a tiny spot. So that kind of was a good thing that we were able to see that. because if I would have just seen her going in the litter, I don't know that I would have thought to even look. I wouldn't even, you know, other than the fact that she was going more often, but she was kind of sneaking around. Um, so yeah. We have sold this one, 6D. 6D is sold. Thank you so much. Nancy says, was Gertie being aggressive? Not really at all. I mean, no more than they have been with each other here recently. She's chasing Gilbert a little bit, but that's because the other girls were. She would just kind of follow them around. So she wasn't being any more aggressive, like especially toward us or her other siblings. Just the normal thing that they were getting through, because she was following the other girls with Gilbert. Hey Nancy, hello by the way. How was the wedding prep? Um, how did that go for you? Hopefully all went well. I think you said that was yesterday or today, and then the wedding is tomorrow, right? Hopefully the prep for it that you were concerned about went okay. I'm gonna put one away just to show you that. Um, is this one again? So that's DOG1. And that's only $18. Little figurines by Harry Wood. Um, I do not have any more bags here. Andrew, do I have bags down by the computer downstairs at all? I can't remember if I brought any home there or not. I'm just going to set these off to the side for now. This is DOG3. I'm just going to set these aside. DOG4, $16. And I'm going to move this one over. DOG5 and the DOG6 series of beads. And then it says, wonderful. Tomorrow is the big day. Yes, was all perfect. Thank you for asking. Oh, good. I'm glad there weren't any issues. I know you were concerned. Andrew says, not really. Okay. Well, I'll just have to get bags tomorrow on my way home. That's okay. DOG7. I'm going to do these. Normally we do these a little bit more. I'm going to do these for 18. Harry sent us a bunch of bowls. And if you love his little bowls, you're getting a really good deal tonight on these. $18. This is an introductory price for you all. This is the first one. So these are bowls by Harry. And I love, look at that. Look how pretty that is. That is DOG7, $18 only. Normally I do these at like $22, $23, somewhere in there. So for you all, and for this live only, if these go into the online store, they are going to be much higher. I mean, not much, but they will be higher. This is DOG8, $18. These are kind of slab built bowls. DOG9. We've just sold 7. Thank you so much. I will take that one away. Move 8 down. DOG9, $18 is this one. And this one's kind of got like a creature, a bat wing creature imprint in there. You can see the creature here with the bat wings coming out. It's pretty cool. And there's one of these. There's one of everything. Only one of each. Only one of each. So that is DOG9. DOG10 is this one. That's really pretty too. DOG10. DOG11. Is this one. This is one of my favorites of the new batch. It kind of reminds me of one of those, it's probably not the greatest, but one of those kind of slimy mushrooms that you see in the forest. Hey, Sandra, happy Friday to you too. And look at that outside. Really pretty. That's DOG 11, $18 only by Harry. I said introductory prices for you all. And then these will go up if they go to the online store. We have a collection of Harry's stuff we're putting in the online store. We have some of it in there, but we've got more coming. And this is the final bowl that we have for tonight, DOG 12. Hey, Leslie, thanks for joining. And this one has some legs on it. She's got legs. And so that is DOG 12. And it's got that beautiful blue DOG 12, $18. So those are the items by Harry that we have for this evening. He sent a bunch of stuff, but we're going to start with that for tonight. I didn't want to do all Harry's stuff. So we'll do more throughout probably next week. Anders, I really like the glaze on that one, on this one, yeah. We've just sold 11, so that's this one. 11 is sold. I'll take that away. I'm actually going to take most of them away now because we're going to clear the room, clear the decks for the beads coming up. So keep these somewhat in the order that I have them so I know what I'm doing here. Move this over. These luckily will stack pretty nicely. All right. Okay. All right. Next up, actually, sorry, everybody. Trying to figure out how to set up my desk so that I can not have anything go wild. DOG 13. These are only $5. We had these little leaves, these vintage check glass leaves in green the other night. And I want to show you these. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 strands of these. And a few people grabbed them the other night, so I wanted to show you this color. Andrew says, I can't believe how quickly February is going. I know. We have our Kittapalooza coming up on Tuesday next week, which is my birthday. I cannot believe my birthday is already here. I'm not ready for that yet. And we have that big day coming up, so that's exciting. But this month has gone by way too fast. These are these beautiful leaves, this time in yellow. We had them in green. Now they're in yellow or amber. And you get the whole strand of them for $5. The leaves are approximately, if I can get in here, about 14 and a half by 9. All right. We sold DOG 12. That's the big bowl. Thank you so much. The big bowl has sold. And let's see here. DOG 14. And sorry, y'all, if you're just tuning in and you missed the beginning, I'm going a little bit fast today, simply because I'm tired. And the whole Gertie thing, I'm so glad she's okay, but it wore me out today. And so I am ready to eat some food and just chill out and watch some TV tonight because I am exhausted. And I probably won't even watch TV that long, because, well, I'm probably going to pass out. I'll be up hopefully long enough to eat. This is, I'm wrong on this. I didn't mean to put that there. There's only one of these. DOG 14 are these Pewdie spacers. And so this is a tube of these Pewdie spacers. Let me open this so you can see the shape. They're like, here, let me see. So you can see the edge, because that's what you'll see mostly, right? They're like pinched on one side, like that. So that's DOG 14, only $3. And we've only got one tube of these left. I love these little things. Pewter is plated, right? Andrew can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe these are just polished. I don't think they're plated. Is that right, Andrew? I don't know for certain. I think these are just a polished pewter. From them. DOG 14. Andrew says those look so good on leather. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Anna says, I'm sure you will crash from that stress. You both deserve a night off. Thank you. Yes, we're both, I think, going to crash. Andrew always says it, and then he's like up all night anyway. We've just sold a few 13s, so thank you so much for those of you who are grabbing this one. Andrew says, to my knowledge, they're not plated. Yeah, I don't think they're plated. I think they are just a polished pewter. We've never been told by that vendor that they are a plated item. DOG, especially at that price. $15 each. I've got 3 of these available. I love this shape. Obviously, we just have one left. It's one of the most popular shapes we have. And if this doesn't sell, I'll be taking these back into the store, because I took them from the store at some point. I think when we moved the store, and I never took them back. And these are things that I could definitely use when beginners come in, and just anybody who's coming in to make. But beginners especially love these little tubes. Sandra says, for some reason, I always thought pewter is plated. No. So no, it does not always have to be plated. It can be just polished. And if it is fine pewter, or what we consider fine pewter, it has a minimal amount of silver in it, and that's how you can get it to polish up and shine really well, because it's got a little bit of silver content. So these are these little cubes. They're kind of like origami. Like, you remember, did you ever make the origami boxes and then you blow into them and puff them up? That's kind of what these remind me of, little origami boxes. I used to do origami when I was young. My friend Brandon and I, we weren't really artistic necessarily, but we loved our one art teacher, and we would hang out in her class, usually before school started sometimes, or during study hall and stuff like that, if she didn't have a class. And at one point we did some kind of project, and I can't remember, but we made tons of origami irises for some project. We've sold 14 multiple times. Sorry, we've just got the one. So that one has sold out. Thank you so much for that. Oh, there's a bag for that one. 14 away. 15 is still available. We've got 3 of those. If 3 people want them, you can have those. DOG 16. We're gonna do this at $6. DOG 16. This is a pretty vintage check glass daggers, but with an AB finish. Look how pretty those are. Those look so good. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Those are really pretty. DOG 16, they are $6 for the whole strand. That is the strand. The size on those little babies are 10 by, let's see if I can grab it here, 10 by 3.5. 10 by 3.5. Oh, Diane says size. Yep, just got it. Just got to it. And those are, Andrew says, that coating is really flashy. Yes, it is. I don't know why I'm putting them away. They didn't sell yet. What am I doing? I'm like, I got a bag for them and then I started packing them up. Found a bag, started packing them. Don't pack them yet, William. They're not sold yet. We sold one of the 15s. We've still got 2 left. If anybody's interested in those little origami boxes, that's what they call them. They're really cool. DOG 17. We're going pretty quickly through these. Andrew says wishful thinking. I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These were 28. I will drop them down to I'll do them at 18. 18. It's a crazy low price. If this is a set of artisan lampwork glass beads. Look at this pink theme kind of going on right here. I didn't even plan that. Andrew says, did you bring back your travel mug? I did. Andrew made me some tea earlier today to start out my day, which was really nice. Oh, we just sold another one of the 15s. Thank you so much. There's still just one of those left now. And this is these beautiful kind of polka dot in a pale, 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 pale pink. And that's DOG 17. And you get 6 beads now for only $18. That's $3 a bead. And these beads are approximately 14.5 millimeter. Marianne says, yes, I noticed. You noticed that pink? Oh, now we sold 16. See, wish granted. I wished it and it happened. Okay, everybody, I'm going to start putting everything away early. We'll see how that works. Andrew says, I can't remember who made those. They were for our Art of the Bead show. And I don't remember, though, who did them. But I remember they were in our Art of the Bead show. I can't remember for sure. It's gone. It left my brain. We liked them so much, we bought them for ourselves. And then we just haven't used them, so put them up for sale. And 1, 2, 3, 5 of these. These are only $4 a strand. I have 5 strands left. Were they Sue Kennedy? Did she make those? That doesn't sound right, though, to me. Andrew says, I mean, that was a decade ago. It's weird to think that, but it was probably close to a decade ago, huh? DOG 18 are these little vintage check glass. I don't know, a twisted bean, like they look like a coffee bean, but with a twist. I don't know. I don't know what you want to call those. Twisted, I don't know what, but they're beautiful. I love this shape, and I love this bright color. And the size on these beads is 5.7 by 8.5. So about 5.5 by 8.5. Oh, we just sold 17. Thank you so much. I'll put that one away. Okay. That's 18. DOG 19 coming up for y'all. Ooh. Ooh, I do like these. These are only $9, and there are 2 of them. Aren't these vintage? Oh, these are vintage German? They might be. They're not marked, but that actually probably is, yes, you're probably right. Because I think the ones that were strung up like this in a full circle were mostly vintage German. So this is vintage German glass, everybody, not vintage Czech. Vintage German. The loops are German, yep. These are vintage Czech, and they are stunningly beautiful. At least I think so. Nice big beads. They've got this, I don't know what kind of shape. Again, what kind of shape is that? I don't know. Lovely. I love how this shape kind of plays with the light on these beads. And these beads are at their widest, diagonally kind of, they are 13.5 millimeters by about 18. Let me see here. It's hard because they don't want to come apart. About 19 millimeters. Very ambery, says Andrew. They are. And there are only 2 strands of these left in the whole wide world of Allegory Gallery. 2 strands of those left. DOG 20. These were 98. I'm going to bring them down to, let's do it 78. $98 down to 78. Kimberly says those are cool, aren't they? I think so. This is a beautiful strand, a very beautiful strand of amethyst drops. Beautiful amethyst drops. Was $98 for the strand. This is a very high-end kind of strand. Gorgeous, gorgeous color, clarity, faceting. Lots of drops on this strand too. They're like packed in here. And it's a nice long strand for this kind of a strand. But look at that. Ooh, they've got the color. So pretty. Andrew said, those are so beautiful. I know. And at $78, that's a screaming steal these days. $78 is a steal for this kind of quality and clarity. 1 strand left, which is why we're offering it at that instead of 98. The drops on here are approximately, these are always so hard because they pack them in here so full, about 10.5 by 8 millimeters. 10.5 by 8 millimeters. Gorgeous, gorgeous faceted drops in amethyst. High quality amethyst, $78 for the strand, down from $98. DOG20. DOG21. Beans. I call these beans. These are pewties again, pewter spacers. And they look like, they remind me of beans. They're not really, but look, kind of look like a little bean of some sort. But they're kind of almost triangular shaped. But they're super cool. The hole is slightly kind of offset, I feel like. Just a little bit. But we've got two tubes of these, and they're $3 a tube. Fine pewter spacers, DOG21. 2 tubes available. This was 36. I'll bring it down to 32. Susan says like rain clouds. Yeah, that's a good call too. This is beautiful peach moonstone, high-end peach moonstone with, look at that. Ooh. The flashies on these are amazing. Beautiful peach moonstone, faceted drops. Was 36, now 32. One strand only available. Really pretty. If you like peach moonstone, this is a very high-end quality. You can see all that chatoyance in those stones. There is no lack of chatoyant flash in there. And these are about 10, usually they're 10 by 10, right? 10 by 10. 10 by 10 millimeters. Drops peach moonstone, DOG22. All right, let me put some of this away. I'm gonna put these away. DOG13 are these check glass leaves. Still got some of those available, but some people grabbed those. Thank you so much. Let's see here. That one's 14. DOG15 are these. We have one of these still available. DOG15. Oregon cubes, as I call them. And 16 sold, 17 sold. We have 18s, the vintage German glass. $4 a strand only, DOG 18. How do we sell that for $4 a strand? Those are such old prices. You very rarely see like the vintage German glass going for that low. DOG 19, we've got these. We've only got 2 available. $9 each only. $9 each. Yeah. And that's these. Move DOG20 over. We just sold the last 15. Thank you so much. Those are the spacers. DOG21, 22. All right. DOG23. These are $3 each. I've got multiples. If I get close to thinking I'm going to sell as many of these, then I'll check. But these are a vintage Czech glass Druk. Tiny vintage Czech glass in this beautiful green. Kind of green and black. Round. And these are 3mm. 3mm strands of vintage Czech glass. $3 a strand only. I've got multiples available. There's probably about 10 of them or so. I'm just not going to count them all unless I need to. Y'all buy a bunch, then I will do a count. DOG24. There's 8 of these. And they are $3. Again, $3 a strand. These are vintage Czech glass. In this kind of chocolatey gray X pattern. I think those would be kind of cute if you were doing like X's and O's or something like that, you know, like kisses and hugs. Or just build them out of, you know, if you're building in geometric patterns, I think that could be really cool too. We've sold a few 23s just now. Thank you so much. We've still got some of those available. This is 24, and these ones are 6.5 by 12. Yeah, 6.5 by 12. DOG 24. 8 of those available. DOG 25. We have 3 of these available only. They're $22 each. And they're these kind of wonderful square, well, rectangular beads with a hole in the center. That is the only hole on the bead. So they kind of dangle and play around with kind of, you know, how they fit together. And I think they're really cool. I think they make a cool bracelet or part of a bracelet. I would put just a few, maybe loose in a bracelet. So you could play with them, but you could also, you know, pop other beads inside, have them go over top of other smaller beads. Like if you were doing something like these, like you could thread them through and have a few hanging on there like that, or have it on a bracelet like that. So there are various ways to use those. You could also, if you had a longer stick bead of some sort, you could use them as a toggle probably too. Wrap around and then use them as a toggle to play around with that. But options, I think they're really cool. They're kind of this, I call it like a popcorn color to me. That's what it reminds me of. These are about 11.5 by 14.5 millimeters. DOG 25. Ooh, this is nice. Was 32. I'll take it down to 28 for you all tonight. DOG 26. These are beautiful, high quality Russian Amazonite, but it's not got much of the white. It's got a little bit in there, but it's mostly this beautiful kind of sea green color, sea foam kind of green. And these are kind of these faceted, they're not quite rounds. I don't know if I'd call them a rondelle. Kind of, I guess they're a rondelle. Faceted rondelle, but such a lovely color. Like, talk about like, I think these together for like an Easter thing. I think that would be so lovely. Like, I love those together. You can play around with that. But yeah, and this is lovely, aren't they? They really are beautiful beads. 6.5 millimeters. Only one strand of these. That's it. $28 takes it home if you'd like it. DOG 26. We just sold 26. Thank you so much. It's a good price. You got a good deal on that one. And these are, I have multiples of these. I'm not going to count them unless I have to. You can see I'm taking the easy road tonight as much as possible. We had some of these pearls the other night. We priced them at 8. Normally we price these around 12. But I'm going to do these at 8 for you again. Anna says, can you tell me if I got 26? You did, Anna. Yes, that was you. And so these are these little rice pearls. We had them the other night, I think in light blue, if I remember correctly. And this time we've got them in this kind of fiery pink. That's all I can just, I don't know. It's like a fiery pink. I don't know. I guess that's the color. They're not really pink. I don't know what you call that otherwise. Coral? Fiery coral? Let's call it a coral. I think it's more like a coral color. And they're super pretty. They're these vintage rice pearls. We got these on a special buyout, and I love them. I've never seen these like this before that. They're about 3 millimeters by, I'm going to say about 5. Let's say 3 by 5. And I think that's what the other ones were, if I remember. But they're just so pretty. $8 a strand. Really kind of luminescent, these ones. And I kind of, like me, I kind of like the Andrus's flamingo. That's cool. I kind of like this. Like, I don't know. What do you think of that? Would you do that? I kind of like this together with this green. I kind of feel like I want to play with colors like that together. Maybe I will. Maybe. We'll see. But I do like those. DOG 27. These are really good prices too. This is 20. We'll bring it down even a little lower to 18. These are some S-word crystal. And these are the hyacinth color. It's 1 gross, so I think it's 144 bicones in hyacinth. And these bicones are 4 millimeter, I believe. Yeah, 4 millimeter bicones in hyacinth. S-word crystal. They're in an old bag, so they're not as flashy as they will be when you take them out of the bag, but you can see this is what they were packed in for many years. This is an old bag. So $18 for 144 of those, 1 gross, hyacinth, 1 bag available, 1 lot available. DOG 28. All right, let me put away. Nobody grabbed the amethyst tonight. That's a little sad. I thought $78 was going to was going to make that move. That's okay. It's February's birthstone. You're right on with that one. Andrews is one of my favorites. The hyacinth, that's such a good color, right? It is such a good color. I'm going to put away DOG 21. That's the little beans. Nobody grabbed any of the beans. Those are usually one of the most popular styles. That surprises me tonight. I thought I'd sell out of those. Um, that's funny. You never know. DOG 22, the what's words? Um, peach moonstone. Peach moonstone. Nobody grabbed that one either. $32. That's a little bit surprising, but not. I know some people don't, those kind of not quite a briolet, but those drops sometimes they're a little bit hard for people. So I understand when those don't sell sometimes. DOG 23 are these. We've sold a few of those. We do still have some available. $3 each. $3 each. Vintage check glass. Tiny droops. And then I'll put 24 away as well. That's these little X's. Nobody's grabbed any of these tonight. It's all right. You never know. Sometimes people go crazy for a design. Sometimes you don't. Only $3 a strand, though. Nice thing to add to your Tech Glass arsenal if you've started collecting one. Let's move these up. DOG 29. Okay, come on. Untangle, please. I hate when these get tangled up. Okay, well, these were 15 a strand. I'll do them for 12. And I've got four strands available. Anderson, sometimes we can't keep briolets in stock. Sometimes we can't sell them even if we pretty much give them away. Yeah, it's strange, right? It's strange how that happens. DOG 29. These are blue lace agate microfaceted rounds. Blue lace agate / blue chalcedony microfaceted rounds. And they are not wanting to. I have to untangle them all. But I'm not going to do that in front of you all here. So this is what they look like. You get the full strands. They're 3mm. And they've got really, if you can get in there, they've got really pretty patterns in each one. They're so small, it's hard to see them. But you can really see, like, look at those pretty patterns. They're a really nice strand. Blue lace agate, blue chalcedony, 3mm faceted rounds. 4 strands left only, $12 a strand. And what's last tonight? DOG 30? DOG 30 is, oh, nice. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 strands of this available. We'll do these at 18 a strand, 6 strands available. This is true, pure, vintage, magnetic hematite rounds. Magnetic, you can see they're like sticking to each other. Magnetic hematite, This beautiful gunmetal color. And it's true hematite. It's not, sometimes it's not real anymore. True hematite, DOG 30. These rounds are 6 millimeters. We've just sold one of 29. Thank you so much. And we sold one of 14. What was 14? Oh, I think we sold 14. Did we? Yeah, 14 had already sold out earlier. Thank you for trying, though. What I say on these 6 millimeter? Yeah, 6 millimeter rounds, $18 a strand. True vintage magnetic hematite. It's a magnet, y'all. Super cool. And that, my friends, is what we've got for you tonight. Wow, we had some people drop. We were up to like 20 people, and then like I put the last one out there and we dropped to 10 people. A lot of people just dropped out right after, as soon as we were done. They're like, I'm done too. Um, anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you had a good time. Please hit that like, hit that love, hit that share. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube if you don't already, and make sure you follow us on Facebook if you don't already. They warn us about telling you to do all those things because you're going to get overwhelmed. So just do one of them. Do one of them for us. Whatever you want to do. Like, love, share, all that stuff. Anna says we all need an app. I know, like half the party just cut out with. They did what do they call it? The Irish exit. I do that a lot too. Didn't say goodbye. Just left. um, Susan says, "Have a great weekend, everyone. Sweet dreams." Thank you. You all too. And we will see you back here on Monday. And then remember, Tuesday is my birthday party. So we're going to be doing things with kits. And then we'll have a Kitapalooza. We'll have new kits up for sale. Also, what was I thinking? D-Stash. On Sunday night, we'll have a D-Stash in the Andrew Thornton Project D-Stash group. So if you did not check out last week's D-Stash, you can claim up until Saturday night or Sunday morning. When I go to the store on Sunday, I will be taking those lots away, and we'll be getting ready for a new event that evening, Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, if you'd like to hang out in the D-Stash. Some people like the D-Stash better than the lives. So whatever you like. Some like them both. So whatever you want to do, hopefully you'll hang out with us, but you can claim in the current D-Stash until at least Saturday evening. Andrew says, maybe we'll put some extra special things in the D-Stash for your birthday. Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we will. Who knows what we're going to get up to this coming week? It's my birthday week. We're going to do some fun stuff. We'll probably do stuff all weekend long or all week long. Maybe we'll do some shows with some giveaways again. We love to give away stuff on our birthdays. Who knows? So hopefully you'll tune in next week and see all the lovely things we have for you all and all the special things we're going to do for my birthday week. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. And again, we'll see you back here on Monday on the live and on Sunday on Facebook for our D-Stash. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.